Roz in Canada writes, the Jews in Israel today are not related to the ancient Israelites. In fact, DNA tests have proven that Palestinians are closer and almost identical to the original Jews. Zionists aren't even close. They are land grabbers and murderers and thieves. Palestinians have a perfect right to defend themselves against invaders and occupiers. In fact, it is recommended. So how come Israel is being lauded and Palestinians ignored? Roz, well, there are a couple of reasons for that, and we've talked about it several times, about this attitude in the United States regarding Israel and the leadership of Israel and the atrocities that Israel perpetually commits from day one against the Palestinians, and how resistance by the Palestinians for 3 generations now is seen as acts of terror. The American revolutionaries were seen by the British as terrorists too. I mean, come on. But anytime, and I think this is true. I think it's in our DNA coding, in our genetic coding. If you have a village or a land or a town or a island or whatever, and again, call it territorial imperative. I don't know what the hell it's called. But if you and you are established and you are running your country and you're doing whatever you're doing, but it's your country, and you're invaded, and someone comes in and says and takes over and starts to occupy you and uses murder and displacement and diaspora and everything they can think of to drive you out, to push you away, what are you supposed to do? Your genetic coding will tell you, I am supposed to resist, no matter what. How is that terror? The terror rests on the shoulders of the invader. If it's so-called Israelis or Americans going into Iraq or Chinese going into Tibet or A going into B, C going into D, it doesn't matter. You can take the religious aspect and shove it up your nose. When you have a people who are occupied, who are jailed without charge, who are forced to use inferior and everything, who see their 1,000-year-old orchards ripped up and tossed in the dirt so the Israelis can build another settlement. What are you supposed to do? Just sit there? This is not hard stuff. It doesn't make any difference what side you come down on. My question is value neutral. What are you supposed to do when you're invaded, when you're occupied? Are you supposed to lay down and let the tanks roll over you? Jesus, God, this is not difficult. I said a long time ago, I'm just not going to be baited into these discussions again. But when you watch over and over and over again the missile strikes, the tank invasions, the slaughter of innocents, I mean real innocents, people, and then you take the Hamas fighters or whatever you want to call them. What did they call the fighters in the Warsaw Ghetto? What were they called? They resisted? Were they called terrorists? Ah.